What is going on, everybody? So today I'm going to take you to a customer's house who has a good problem, and that problem being that their corals are growing too fast, and it's creating an issue because there's no room for the stuff that we want to put in there. Now, like with most tanks, we started off with soft corals, and then eventually we were going to move up to the LPS and the SPS, you know, the more difficult corals. But this tank really dialed in, and it's just been really healthy, and the corals in there are just going nuts. So all these soft corals are just growing like crazy, and now it's like, okay, we don't have room for the LPS and the SPS that we want to put in there. So I'm going to show you guys this tank, and I just think it's so beautiful. And we're going to also frag up some stuff today, take some stuff out, clear some room for future corals. But I just wanted to share this with you guys because what a great problem to have, right? Like, my corals are growing too fast. It's such a cool feeling. But first, I'm outside here at another job, and I wanted to give you guys an update. Now, for those of you guys watching my channel, this is about close to a 500-gallon system, and there's some really large fish in this aquarium. It is a reef-style tank. Unfortunately, there was fish disease in here, or a fish parasite, I should say. And the fish were looking really, really bad. The customer got fish from I won't say the place, and it affected his other fish that he already had, and they were all flashing and itching and looking really bad, breathing heavy. And he called us as soon as he noticed that, and we came out here and we started treatment right away. We started hydrogen peroxide treatment, and I'm going to take you guys inside right now and show you the progress this tank has made in a couple of months. And I think it's been about 60 days. The progress that this tank has made, and how the fish are doing, and if who survived and who didn't. But yeah, just a quick update on that. So let's get started. Big update on this big old monster of an aquarium. Everybody's doing good. Monos are getting huge. Hogfish is getting massive, eating like a champ. Everybody's looking really, really healthy. Clownfish are chilling. They missed their anemone though. Unfortunately, their anemone is gone. Did not make it through the treatment, which I'll get to in a second. Got two pufferfish up above here. And soft coral are still doing pretty good. Toadstools, polyps are out. Doesn't seem like the fish are picking anymore. That's a good thing, because we did have some picking issues in this aquarium. Now what we're dealing with is some cyanobacteria, which is to be expected when you have a tank that is just completely filled with fish to the brim like this one is. That's why it's so important to have as much coral in here as we possibly can. And the shark that was in here is rehomed to a bigger aquarium. But we still have our little cat shark over here, our catfish, right here. Healthy buddy. He's so cool looking. Oh my God, that's such a cool fish. All right, so gorgonians are looking all right. And yellow tanks, everywhere. Yeah, all the fish are looking great. Now, for those of you who don't know, this tank did have some type of pest that it was dealing with, and the fish were looking really, really rough. They were scratching, they were flashing, they were breathing heavy. So because this is a reef tank, we can't do copper or anything like that to treat the fish. Whatever the parasite is that is in this tank is in the tank, and we can't leave this tank fallow for the 90 days. So what we did, because it didn't seem like a marine velvet or anything like that. It seemed like a pest that was somewhat manageable if you catch it early. So we are dosing hydrogen peroxide to the system right now, and these fish are not scratching or flashing like they were before. They are in much better shape. We are on probably 60 days now of hydrogen peroxide dosing. I just topped it off, and probably got another 30 days left of hydrogen peroxide, and that should take care of any of the parasite that was in here. And then these fish are starting to gain their strength back. They're starting to eat really well. Little porcupine puffer up here. Love that little guy. Look at that face. I do not love that fish. And then a dog face puffer in the back. Everybody's just chilling. What an active tank. Just big. But once we're done with the hydrogen peroxide treatment, we will start putting anemones all through this whole tank. I'm sure the clownfish will be very happy about that. But yeah, once we get the 30 days up and we feel like the fish are clean and healthy, and we don't have to worry about any more parasites in this tank, we will go ahead and start adding anemones to this tank like crazy. We can't do it now just because hydrogen peroxide, just the anemones can't take it, they'll die. So with soft corals, the hydrogen peroxide treatment seems to be fine, but with anemones, for whatever reason, they just won't deal with it. But with that being said, once we're done with the treatment, we'll get them back in here, and then we're going to start adding some green star polyp and some fast-growing corals. Maybe some mushroom corals would be really cool. I want to add a bunch of stuff. Hopefully, these fish can stay away from it and not pick on it. They're so greedy and so hungry that they just, anything you put in the tank, they're just messing with and trying to see if it's food, and that's been quite the problem. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on this tank. It's doing good. Fish are all still healthy. I know last time I did this video, the fish had some signs of disease. It was a bit concerning, but the hydrogen peroxide treatment is working. Just want to let everybody know. Yes, we lost some anemones, but anemones can be replaced. We got plenty of those. No big deal. But more importantly, we didn't lose any fish to the parasite, to the fish disease. Very happy about that. To me, that's considered a win. And we're going to continue to do big things on this tank and make it look beautiful. And once the fish outgrow the tank, like we have in the past, we would take them out and we have a 5,000 gallon tank that we can put them in. No big deal. So that's the update there, guys. All right, so here is the aquarium I was talking about. And let's just take a quick tour of what we have going on here. So we'll start over to the left side here, and I love that Naso tang. Okay, we're not here for the fish, we're here for the coral. So look at the growth we have here. Look at the zoas just completely just coming down to here. That started off with just like 3 heads. It's growing all the way down to there. Into this zoa, which is so pretty. I love that gold skirt. Ross is growing so much that they're starting to grow into the sand. Star polyp, that doesn't even look like star polyp the way it's growing. Star polyp's kind of bunched in between the zoas and these mushrooms that have just been exploding in this tank, overlapping each other because there's nowhere else to go. Then up top we have anemones that clownfish love, and every time I come here, there's always another anemone. They grow quick. Sometimes I have to take them out of this tank. But just look at all this red discosoma mushrooms. These things grow so fast. We're actually gonna frag some of these today because they're just taking over the tank and we need more room. And they are just look like they're in every little corner here. They're just taking up too much room, and we can't have that because we're not gonna have room to put the other things that I want to eventually put in this tank. Big old paligrandus exploding out of here. Just look at that. Look how it's just boom, just taking up that whole area. Or sponge plating sponge, blue plating sponge, rock flower anemones down below. Clams looking good, but then this whole rock of discosoma mushrooms right there. Oh my, like it's crazy. And then there's just like little babies that pop off. Like look at that little red baby right there. They just keep popping off all over the place. Mushrooms everywhere. This leather coral is just giant. It's just taking up the whole area. It's actually shading this rock. So we're gonna have to move this zoa to a different place because we had to pull this rock away so it doesn't get shaded out. And then we're gonna move this zoa somewhere else so it has a little bit more room. Different variant of star polyp. This one's a little bit brighter green, neon green, and this one's more like a mint color. But both of them are just going nuts. It's actually starting to grow up on the glass, if we can see right there. I had to take my scraper and scrape it off the glass. But it's only on the sand for now. We're gonna make sure that it stays only on the sand. I don't wanna start getting on the rocks because that's gonna be a problem. Zoa's growing there. Frog spawn looks healthy. The Recordia mushrooms are actually not growing as fast as I'd like, but they are. This one is splitting a good amount. That one's splitting pretty good. And then look at these zoas right here. Boom, just started off like 3 heads and just absolutely gone nuts. And then we have the Gorgonian, which, look at this thing. It's just growing like a weed. Insane. So the problem I'm having now is that we have all this coral that's growing, soft corals, which is basically your beginner corals, but because it's doing so well, the stuff that we want to add, like the LPS and the SPS,
is starting to run out of real estate. So we're gonna have to do some fragging today, and I'm gonna start by moving some stuff around and taking some of these discosoma mushrooms out, the red mushrooms. And then I brought a sample coral today to see if right here, this Chalice coral, which is a really pretty Chalice coral, and we're gonna glue that up. I'm thinking right over here on this ledge, and we're gonna see how that does. And it's like the acan is doing good, right? If you can see, that's an acanthelia, that's doing really well. I'd like to see more acans in here, but I want to add some chalice, and then maybe two or three chalices, and then we can get some sticks for up top, maybe like sticks over here. I don't think we do monopora, we'll see how it goes, but maybe a chalice here, maybe a chalice over here, and then I don't know, we can find somewhere else to put a chalice, but maybe two chalices. But I want to make this a true mixed reef, and we're not there yet. So the chalice is the first step. We're gonna see how that does in this aquarium, because it looks like the tank is telling me that it's ready to go and that it is ready for the next level of coral. So we're gonna do that today, and I'm gonna clean up some stuff. All right, so I just finished with the fragging, and I took some of the star polyp off because it was like layering on top of each other, and it was shading it, and it was just kind of a mess. So I trimmed that up a bit, plus some of the mushrooms that were on this little branch right there, the Tonga branch. And I pulled out that red mushroom rock so it gets a little bit more light. And I moved the Zoa that was there over here to the side. So like right when you walk in, you can, from the garage, you can see this nice Zoa, and then this Zoa right there hitting you right off the bat as soon as you walk in the door, brightly colored. Also, if you look between the rock and the sand there, I made a nice little buffer zone. I trimmed up that green star polyp, made a nice little buffer zone there. So trimmed up a bunch of coral today. Gonna take it back to the shop. I'm gonna give him that Chalice coral for free. So it pays to have a reef tank that grows well, because I just traded him a really expensive Chalice coral for some of his soft corals that we can sell. So eventually the hobby pays for itself.